folks, Chris here with the Crab Apple Cottage. I was just going to give you a quick tour of, not my entire garden, but just show you a few things that are blooming or have fruit on them. So come with me and I'll show you what I got going on in my garden right now. Okay, so we're in my front garden and this is my American cranberry. There we go, American cranberry. And it's got some blooms on it, so hopefully I'll get fruit on it. These are about some of them are 2 years old, some of them are just 1 year old. So hopefully we'll have some fruit on those this year. This is my Nanking bush cherry. I've actually got 2 of them, and it's set a lot of flowers, but I don't have a ton of fruit. There's some of the fruit that I have. They are smaller than regular cherries, and they're kind of a mix between a sweet and sour cherry. There's one back here that looks like it's almost ripe. So I don't have a ton of fruit on my Nanking cherry, but I've got a little bit. Some of my lavender is in bloom. I use the lavender flower buds to make a simple syrup that I then add to coffee drinks. It's really delicious in coffee. We're still in the front garden, and here I've got some currants. I've got pink and white currants growing. This is the second year for those. I planted them last year, and we've got some fruit on the currants. Not a ton, but we definitely have some fruit. This is one of my red currant bushes, and I've got some fruit developing on that as well. Here's my elderberry bush. I actually have a couple elderberries, black elderberry. This one is just full of blossoms, so we should have a good elderberry harvest this year as well. This is my hardy kiwi. It's planted on a trellis. I've actually got 4 different plants, but this year, this plant, which is the oldest one, see if I can find it here. Here we go. Some baby kiwi on it. So this is a hardy kiwi. It doesn't create a fuzzy kiwi, it creates a smaller kiwi berry. It's a pretty vigorous grower, and this is the first year I'm gonna have fruit on it. I'm pretty excited about that. Here are some of my grapes. I've got 5 different varieties of grapes. These grapes I think are a green grape, I think Himrod. And you can see it is just done flowering, and it's got little baby grapes coming on. So the grapes you'll have a good grape harvest this year. This is my serviceberry. I planted this 3 or 4 years ago, and this is the first year that it has fruit on it. Pretty excited. I've actually been eating it out of hand fresh. It's got a little seed in it, but you can eat the seed. This is the first year that I've got fruit on my serviceberry. This is one of my plum trees, and I've got a baby plum. I think I have like 3 plums on the whole tree, but it's the first year that I've gotten plums, so I'm excited about that. This is my dwarf cherry tree, and we've got some cherries on there. This is the second year I've had cherries. Last year I only had about 5 or 6 cherries, so we've got a few more this year. Hopefully in the following years it'll really start producing. I've got 3 peach trees. This is the first year that they've actually set fruit. This tree over here looks pretty good. One of the other trees has a pest problem, but the fruit on this tree looks pretty good. The other tree, not so good. So probably gonna lose those peaches, or I'll just feed them to the chickens because they have some sort of an insect in them. I didn't treat my peaches this year. It was the first year I've actually had peaches on them, so I just thought I would let nature take its course and see what happened. And next year I'll probably treat them with some sort of like kaolin clay. I think you can spray a clay over them. It's organic and it helps keep pests away. I've got 3 blueberry bushes, and this year I've got fruit on them. They are in pots because they don't do particularly well in my soil. It's not acidic enough, but putting them in pots I can control the acidity a little bit better, and so I've got some blueberries on a couple of my plants. My Rugosa rose finished blooming recently, and you can see there I've got a little rose hip going on, a couple little rose hips. This is a baby plant. It's actually still in the pot. I've got to put it in its proper location, but I am going to get some rose hips this year. Here are my chives. They're just about done blooming, but I'll probably cut them back and they'll bloom again. I do make a chive blossom vinegar with the flower heads from the chives. This is a wild native mulberry that I've let grow. I usually cut it back every year, and as you can see, I've got lots of mulberry fruit on this particular bush. Here are some of my red raspberries, and they are loaded with fruit as well. These are my boysenberries, and they also just finished blooming. You can see a few blooms there, and are starting to develop fruit. This is my black raspberry or black cap raspberry, and I've got some fruit on this plant as well. I've actually got 2 of these, and they're pretty young. I think I planted them last year. Here we are in my strawberry patch, and as you can see, I've got quite a few strawberries growing. Oops, almost forgot this guy. So this is a quince tree that I got this spring. It's still in a pot. It's a Rich's Fruiting Quince, and it bloomed, and now it has a little baby quince on it. So this will be going in my front garden this spring. So there we go. That's my little mini garden tour this year of my quarter-acre permaculture homestead. Those were just some of the perennial plants that are producing fruit this year. I have lots of annual veggies as well. I've got like potatoes and onions and garlic and peppers and tomatoes and all that stuff. But those are my perennial plants that will be producing food this year. I also have quite a few medicinal and culinary herbs and some other perennials that haven't really started producing yet. But that's what I've got going on for 2024. If you guys enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Talk to you later.